Well, hello there. Welcome to another edition of Top 10 Worst Ofs, the best in worst ofs throughout the entirety of the English language. I'm proud to be your host on this quixotic inquiry into life's most arcane truths. My name is Dick Down, and what an incredible time that you've happened to chosen to click on this particular edition of Top 10 Worst Ofs, because today's Top 10 Worst Of is just like so off the chart chain that it's likely to leave you humbled and reaching out into the darkness for profound comprehension of some of the essential truths of the metaphysics of the world around us. And today's Top 10 Worst Of is Top 10 Worst Times for a Penis Flap Incident. Now, I don't think I have to explain a whole heck of a lot of this to you. I think is, perhaps while it might be revealing to a lot of people in at least a couple of different ways that I can think of, I think it's also pretty lowbrow, self-explanatory, so I think let's launch right into it. A couple of things real quick. Number one, I just want everybody to know so that we're all not taking each other by surprise and operating with the type of honesty that's typified my relationship with all of the Top 10 Worst Of viewers, all three of them, that I am not, maybe not in full control of all of my marbles, a significant amount of them, but it's been a rough life. I've had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of biorhythmic troughs for decades now, since I decided to cut ties with the mainstream corporate ethos that has come to dominate our culture and society, and in my opinion, ruin it for everyone else. So it's been a tough row to hoe, as they say, or a tough hoe to row. I forget what the correct order of that one is. And number two, just to let you know, I'm not partisan. You don't need to, ascribe all of your damage onto me, thinking oh, look at this freak, this petulant, fat, belligerent nobody here. Gotta be a lefty, right? That's what you're thinking. I know you're thinking. I know who you are. Don't judge a book by its cover is just like a complete lie, isn't it? Everybody judges books by their cover, no matter how high mighty they portray themselves to be. All these, what do they call the things? Virtue signaling. No, thank you. I'm not down for any of the hypocrisy, whether it be the hypocrisy of virtue signaling that, you sort of pretend to have, or whether it be, getting owned by the divide and conquer trick that they've been playing us for fools with since, the day Big Daddy Machiavelli strode out upon the scene and helped I forget who those guys were, like Venice or whatever, the Borgias? No. The Tintorettos? No. The guys with the thing that had the money back then. He wrote this book for them, how to keep everybody sort of tamped down and running in their lane and such and so forth. But it's a 600-year-old scam at the very least. Machiavelli, whenever he kicked it was 600 years ago, and that whole idea was already, very much in play for ages before he came on the scene and wrote it down. He was just the first one who had a printing press to be able to disseminate all that stuff, and got the credit for it. Probably didn't have much to do with it anyway. Probably a bum, just like all those other guys back in the Renaissance, claiming to have discovered all this stuff. Da Vinci, supposedly the first, tried all those designs for manned aerospace flight or whatever the hell. There's no way. Look, you could see, probably for 1,000 years before that or more, where people can make paper airplanes for sure, right? I mean, it's not that big of a whoop to figure out that you see a piece of paper kind of fall down off of a table or whatever, and you're like, going, wow, there's some buoyancy there. It's not dropping the way that, say, a VHS tape of Girls Gone Wild would drop directly off a table and just flop down at, sort of regular flopping speed. Speaking of flopping, let's get on with our topic for today. Top 10 worst times for a penis flap incident. Before we get into one last final thing, we've got, sorry to have to interrupt you with this, but, hey, it's an imperative today's day and age. You got to have, our commercial sponsors. Got to have just for a minute here. Won't impose on you for too long. Now, first of all, from the people who brought you the Broadway hit play, The Vagina Monologues, now comes the Pee-hole Monologues. Pee-hole Monologues, just, like exactly what you might think it's going to be. It's Pee-hole Monologues. They had the vagina, also I toy, I toggle between whether I should go with the Pee-hole Monologues and tying in with the vagina, or if I should go with the Angina Monologues, which goes with the rhyming scheme. The edge had why don't you write down in the top comments which one you think is more insightful and dynamic, intellectually dynamic. Is it the Pee-hole Monologues or Angina Monologues? Anyway, the new kids from the new boy band with modeled after all the hyper-violent movies that become so in vogue. Boy Kills World, John Wick, the incessant and increasingly regrettable Rambo movies. It's New Kids on the Block. It's pop songs by posers who don't have anything to do with the production, writing, or recording of their music. They just sort of show up for the video shoot where they put in I'm not exaggerating, 12,000 jump cuts to make it look like they actually have talent or that they're actually dancing. And they just go 3 seconds and go like, cut, 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 cut. Sad, really sad. Just almost as sad as these jokes. From the people who brought you Sex with Attitudes, Anglo-Saxon. So this is terrible. Hedwig and the Angry Grinch. Nobody even knows what Hedwig and the Angry Inch is. Why would a joke about Hedwig and the Angry, which I love, by the way, it's great. I mean, that's a movie really is out there, and I love every minute of it. But I don't think that anybody's going to get the Christmas version, Hedwig and the Angry Grinch, where the Grinch shows up and he's only got a 1-inch wiener. And that's why he's pissed off. He doesn't mind, he doesn't care about Christmas. He's pissed off because he's got a 1-inch wiener. And he's going after everybody, Cindy Lou Who and all the who's in Whoville. He felt his penis grow 12 sizes that day. It's Hedwig and the Angry Grinch. I don't know why, but it's there. Then, of course, from the immortal bard, William Shakespeare, comes now the author of finally the sequel to Romeo and Juliet. It's Romeo and Julie's Vet, where it's Romeo and Julie driving around in her vintage 64 Corvette Stingray and talk about stuff. It's Romeo and Julie's Vet. God, sorry. I apologize. Please direct your letters to the complaint department. All right, so here we go. The worst times for penis flap incidents. You know what we're talking about here. Most likely, in most cases, is going to be that pajama bottom that's gone rogue in the undercarriage region. So top 10 worst times for that to happen. Hello, good buddy. We're going to roll this trucking convoy. All right, number 10, penis flap incident while in a police lineup. Now, that can be embarrassing and could lead to serious jail time if, depending on what crime you're being accused of and who's doing the accusing. Oh, yes, I recognize that one. Number 6, please step out of the line. Will the 6, no, that's better. Will the 6 please, let me see the 4 up close. Will the 4 please step out? Nobody knows what I'm talking about, do you? Oh, God. I need treatments. My hair is so flat. It's so humid. Ugh, look at that. Nothing. Come on, hair. You can do this. Here we go. Ding, dong, dong. Do, 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 do. There we go. That's a type of, buoyancy and bounce that showcases my raw, rugged machismo. Number 9, the top 10 worst times for a penis flap incident. Penis flap incident when meeting your soon-to-be in-laws for the first time. That can be embarrassing, but not, always as bad as you might think, because who knows? People are, they got sister wives and stuff like that now all over the goddamn freaking cable. People are, starting to, realize that monogamy is not getting the job done. F monogamy, okay? Monogamy is not the way to go. Here's my planned agenda. Should I become king of the universe in the next, couple of days or whatever? Number 1, marriage is a 7-year contract, period. End of story. If you want to renew it, both parties consent, want to renew it, great, whatever. But no more divorces, no more lawyers getting a third off the top of half of the people in the frickin' country just because they can't keep their wits about them after having been brainwashed into a stupor and thinking that monogamy is a great way to have a happy ever after. Stupid. Number 2, mandatory prostitution. Now, I've talked about this on several different editions of Top 10 Worst Ups. I'm not talking about just legalizing prostitution. It's got to be mandatory for every adult personage. Twice a month, I'm thinking, for starters. There are probably experts who can get that, sort of tweaked to where, they can scientifically prove how many times the average Dumbo has to have their pipes cleared out, so that they don't become psychotic rapists. I think rape is going to, absolutely disappear. 90% of the psychoses for depression and stuff like that disappear overnight. No more. It's over. When people are getting laid on the reg, it changes everything. And, and you don't have to worry about your spouse or being, unfaithful, because everybody's going to be required to have mandatory prostitution. And we'll have catalogs and stuff, probably do something nice and tasteful online where you can breeze through it. You want, for me, personally, I'll go for either a guy with a microphallus or a lady with a stick clitoris. Because I like a nice mouthful while I'm down there munching out and, because my vision's not very good. I think that one of the biggest turn-ons is turning on your partners and stuff like that. That's what really gets me ramped up, gets me all, fizzy lifting drink, ready, steady. Let's get rolling here. So I need to be I have to have one of those, almost like those Target logo on the area. I need something big to focus in on to make sure that I'm getting the job done. And I think that a lot of people are probably like that, but everybody's different. Some people might want to have, like the hirsute sex with, big hairy armpits that look like the deepest, darkest jungles in Vietnam during the mid 1960s. I don't know, but it's just like, we got to get over the whole idea of monogamy. These Puritans and stuff that came over here were rejects, right? They're rejects from Europe. They got thrown out of Europe. They didn't come here voluntarily to start something, fresh, new, and positive. They were forced out of Europe because there were such a-holes. And they came over here and they created this sort of puritanical society. And now we're trying to live in the thoughts and ideology of total nut jobs. I mean, why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we letting people, monsters, our overlords, again, this is all this displacement of sexual energy and everything like that. It's all about selling us merchandise and turning us into surface-minded morons and hateful and hurting each other and divorcing all the time here and there and everywhere. It's all intended to be destructive for our lives. All of it. It's worse than the little game they're playing with, pitting us against each other and creating left wing and right wings. All those lies. All of it's all baldink. 100% baldink. Number 8, top 10 worst times for a penis flap incident. When accepting a FIFA Peace Prize award. Now, see, that's not going to happen a lot because it's only done one of them. So, I'm not expecting it to be a big, huge whoop. But, hey, it doesn't hurt to get out in front of it. And it's, let's be honest, I have down at number 8. It's not like I put it at the top of the freaking list. All of a sudden, you're such a big, huge critic all of a sudden? What's wrong with you? God damn it, what the hell is wrong with these viewers? Man, I'm going to have to go back to having bots artificially view these things to drive up my numbers so I can get some of that filthy lucre. That top 10 worst of Empire. I'll just get a little bit of, wet my beak a little bit, get a little taste of something. Number 7 of the top 10 worst times to repeat the flat business. Penis flap incident while getting Neil deGrasse Tyson's autograph. Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson seems like a reasonably decent guy. I got no problems with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't believe that, anybody who's got a mainstream level of distribution that we know about, that we know anything about, is an a-hole. But he's not nearly as bad as Bill Nye the Science Guy, who you could chuck Bill Nye the Science Guy into Blue Ivy. What is that? That space thing that Jeff Bezos is doing, Blue Ivy, or is that Jay-Z and Beyonce's kid? Talentless, absolutely obnoxious as hell kid, by the way. I saw, she did some performance, if you want to call it that, in Chicago at some stupid little festival, and she's like walking out like it's 100% style over substance, and style is even in her own. She's got, PR people and style people and people who she's got creating deals, $1 million deals for who she wears, what she wears, when, and all that kind of stuff. And they traipse her out. I feel so bad for a person that has to live a life like that. So regrettable on every level. Just pathetic. But I think that, if you threw Bill Nye the Science Guy into a space capsule and launched him into immediate death, no oxygen, no food, no nothing, just launch him into space until the thing explodes or runs out of juice, you'd be doing the world a favor. That Bill Nye the Science Guy is not the guy who he portrays, let's just call it that, on television. That's not a nice person. Bill Nye the Science Guy is a turncoat, a phony. I've seen him praising oil companies and all kinds of nastiness. Get rid of that guy as soon as possible. But Neil deGrasse Tyson is less evil. I'm sure there's a lot of evil going on there. It's the only way that we know about anybody anymore. Is that they have to be at a 100th degree jerk off of the highest order. All right, where we're going on, number 6 is tattoo. Penis flap incident while negotiating the final price on a high-performance luxury sports car. So let me frame this for you. So you're at the high-performance luxury automobile dealership. Top 10 gold-plated Ferrari Lamborghinis. And you're going to the guy, you're talking with the guy like, I think I'd like one of these and 2 of these for the missus and my side piece. And the salesperson who's he's not the scumbaggiest person in the entirety of planet Earth, but he's in the team photo or perhaps team photo adjacent. And he's going well, yes, how would you like the undercoat on those? And you're like kind of looking at him funny, and all of a sudden, boom, penis flap incident. And you're like, give me the undercoat and everything like that. Just totally blows the deal, blows you cool. And here you are, you're just trying to, make the best out of this, trying to take this guy to the cleaners, get yourself an extra, $10,000 off or something that nobody else could ever squeeze out of this scumbag salesperson, slime dog, flesh peddler, and then the penis flap goes flying open, and wee willy winky, because if you're buying one of those things that you got to have a penis the size of an Audi belly button, and then you're just sitting there kind of going all right, yeah, just throw it. Just give me 3 of them. Whatever color that you got, some whatever. Terrible time for something like that to happen. If there's no reason to feel bad, ordinarily, for any of these billionaires who can afford these stupid-ass luxury sports cars. That's the only reason why we don't have, self-driving cars now at this point. Because, two reasons. Number one, what are you going to do? Who's going to buy luxury sports cars if they're all self-driving? What's the freaking point? You're just going to get in there, sitting there, and it just goes from 0 to 60 while you're sitting in the back enjoying a nice Chateaubriand and oysters Wellington. And you're just sitting there going, wow, that was just a total, nothing on the adrenaline scale. Nobody would buy luxury sports cars. And the fact is, the military needs luxury sports cars to be built because a lot of the research and development that goes into building luxury sports cars and their engines is stuff that the military needs in order to be able to develop high performance engines for their F-16s or whatever hell F number that they're up to. I'll give you an F number. And so it's it's got to be something that's going to be an amazingly messed up situation to begin with already, because there's no empathy there, and the only reason why they're selling these things and whatnot is because the military needs them to do it, because they can never afford to get those high performance engines. Otherwise, what do you think? $1 trillion is going to pay for everything in the military and all this research and development, everything like this, and weaponizing CGI so they can create deep fake videos and fool us into believing a fake reality and develop high performance guns and keep everybody a full staff at all the factories and everything like that, so that they can get ammo or new guns whenever they want to, and all of it's research and development paid for. No, that's why they have private gun ownership in the United States. So when we buy 400 million guns that we've got, we pay for all of that. We pay for all of that. And number two, the other reason why they're not going to give us automatic driving cars and everything like that is because of the insurance. The insurance industry would implode in an hour after they did that, because where are you going to, how are you going to pin any of the accidents on anybody? Why would you need to buy insurance? Only the car manufacturers should be able to have to buy insurance for things like that, because you're not driving. Nobody's going to be driving their own cars. So it's the people who design the GPS systems. They're the ones that are going to have to own the insurance. And that's not, that's going to change and alter the insurance business so radically that the insurance companies would never survive. They only survive because there's 10 bazillion people buying individual policies for their individual cars. Well, if you stop that and you just have one blanket policy for these giant corporations might not even bother. They might be able to, it might be cheaper for them to just sort of pay as they go and just try to quash anybody who brings a lawsuit and destroy them or murder them or hurt them in ways to make them, unable to be able to, get any claims against them or buy off their lawyers on the under the table golden parachute types of situations to offshore banks. But anyway, where was I? Oh yes, penis flaps. Penis flaps incident. Number 5 of the beats. Top 2 worst types of penis flap incident. Penis flap incident while making your closing arguments for the prosecution in a serial murder case. I have to, I don't have a lot on this one. I know I've had a lot of sort of like rebuttals and stuff like that on a lot of these, which I think was very well founded in most cases, but certainly open to debate. And that's why we're here. It's a healthy we're trying to be mature. We're trying not to take our preconceived notions and punish each other for the victimization that we've had all throughout our lives from this terrible, terrible world run by horrible, horrible people. Right? But if you get these, penis flap incident while you're making closing arguments for the prosecution in a serial murder case, I don't think that you could possibly argue with that as being just sort of like a negative. Because even if you think that, hey, people need to just sort of grow up, it's just a penis, right? And there's so much negativity associated with the penis. I don't know why people have to feel like all of a sudden that, all of this hate crimes and stuff like that, all these hurtful machinations of hateful, damaged people just based on the fact that they don't like, chugging meat. It's just, I think that everybody should chug meat. I think it should be, like a college level 101 course. Everybody 18 and over gets into college, got to have a mandatory course on how to chug meat and make everybody go through it. It's not that big of a whoop, okay? Lots of people enjoy it. Not, maybe not lots of people. People can enjoy it. It can be enjoyed. It's like anal. I mean, like some people like it, some people not. But if everybody did it, it'd take them, sort of all the negative ramifications of it. It's almost like a spin-off of Lenny Bruce's thing about, words that carry negative connotations. They carry negative connotations because we feed it negative energy. And we feed that negative energy into these words. We feed negative energies into the penis. We feed negative energy into the anal. And so that it gets to the point where nobody wants to do anything about it because they're just going like, oh gosh, I don't want to go to jail because I'll get that, they're going to tag me with that anal penis action. And like a lot of people dig that type of thing. A lot of people pay for that type of thing, for Christ's sakes. What's the point of you being like living in fear all of your lives? It's over this one little penis. It's 6 inches worth of meat. You do more than that when you go to a baseball game. You chug more than that into your mouth at a frickin' baseball game. I'll take the foot-long wiener. Yeah, yes you will. Oh, yes you will. What's the point of being so freaking conflicted about it? It's not that big of a whoop where you should hate people and kill people over chugging 6 inches worth of meat, if you're lucky. or taking it the hiney. Big freaking whoop. It's not a big whoop as long as you're safe and consensual and everything like that. Just get over your freaking preconceived notions about all this. Why are you so angry all the time? It says in the Bible we can serve meat. In the Bible, it says it right there, chapter 2, section 1, dash 3, John 3:19 or whatever the hell. Thou shalt not chug meat. Thou shalt not, take one up the 5-hole. 5-hole. But hey, it also says, thou shalt not eat shrimp upon penalty of death. Shrimp is a death sentence, isn't it? In the freaking Bible. Thou shalt not eat bottom feeders. Catfish. Thou shalt not eat porks. People aren't, like, no, I'm not, I think, no, what I think when he meant with porks was he meant that, without washing, or without, you must wash the porks before you eat them. No, it's the same thing. There's a list of things that's okay, list of things that's not okay, of many of which we've dismissed as saying like, oh, please, like I'm not going to eat shrimp cocktail or shrimp tails. I just don't get it. I don't know why people think that the taking of the meat or lying with the man as a man is going to be any much different than lying with the cock shrimp tails, shrimp cocktails. It's get over yourselves. It's over. The human race is a done deal, man. AI robots, hello. Have you seen them in action? AI attack dogs fending off freaking drones. Please, I had a AI cybernetic robot ran a half marathon, and they had a bunch of them. Half marathons, good. Mm-hmm. That makes me feel safe. Where we got, everybody's also one. At least I'm not sucking. I'm not chugging meat. I'll have a AI cybernetic robot wipe out the human race. But at least I didn't have to chow down on any beef circus. I just don't get it. The way people feel so incredibly entitled that they think that they're better than everybody else, that they don't have to, so they can have special things cut out for them because it makes them a little queasy. The time for queasy is over. You've lost the battle. The human race is done. At least go out with some freaking dignity. Treat people with respect. The freaking golden rule. It's a good one. Why don't you live by it for a couple of days and see how it fits on you? Number 4, it's a penis flap incident while trying to talk your way out of a speeding ticket. Now, this one can go either way. I mean, let's be honest. You could catch a cop out in the, country road, been sitting out there. It's kind of chilly out, middle of autumn. And, it's just like watching everybody's been real, like, chill with the speed limit. Just, hasn't even pulled anybody over, hasn't talked to anybody in 6 hours off his shift. He's just watching, drinking a little coffee, watching, taking a pee in a 2-liter bottle of Diet Slice, and watching. All of a sudden, boom, there you go. You're doing 80 miles an hour on a 25 mile an hour side street. And he pulls you over, and then, that you're sitting there, and he's like, well, license and registration, please. And your penis flops out. And you're like, oh, officer, I'm so sorry. And the officer's like, don't be. Don't be. All right, number 3, the top 10 worst worst times for a penis flap incident. Number 3, penis flap incident while coming out of the closet to your parents. Now, that's not a good thing. It's embarrassing, and the timing is awful, really. But they're your parents. You're already traumatizing them emotionally because your parents are Bible thumpers and they hate you because you're gay, just because you're gay, and they're just like they're dishing out as much money as they can on a regular basis, monthly, to some televangelist who also hates your parents and thinks of them as suckers because they're handing over all of their cash so that he can buy himself, what do they call that? It's not an L7, G7. So he can buy himself a G7 and take frequent trips to an array of places where he's got second and third families stashed in some out-of-the-way place. And he's loving life. But your parents, immediately reject you if the penis flops out while you're telling them that, and they're like already gonna throw you out of their lives. The penis flopping out might be sort of like a godsend. It might even be a good move to do it intentionally. Like you go okay, well, if you're gonna hate me and disown me and never talk to me again, just because of what my sexual impulses are, then suck on this, daddy. And then you just or what's that, what's that Curtain Affair sound effect when they come back from the commercial? Zing! And it's all of a sudden, Pee Wee Herman is signing autographs, as it were. I just, Man, I am pissed off. I'm sorry. I'm just pissed off. I just don't even know what to say anymore about this pathetic human race. It's so pathetic. Why do you gotta hate each other so much all the time? You take off a freaking day. You should have a holiday where it's a anti-hate day or something like that. We're just like for one goddamn day where we say, oh, like we're just gonna put all this hatred to the side for once for 24 freaking hours and just treat everybody how we would want to be treated ourselves. Is it really that? You can't even get one goddamn day like that? Instead of, what's the stupid... We got 2 holidays for, soldiers. You got Memorial Day, you got Veterans Day. And they're fine, whatever. But I think you could probably sacrifice one for a non-hate day. I mean, why should we have 2 days to celebrate the ramifications of all the hatred in the world and 0 days to try to solve the hatred that causes those deaths by trying to show people that we can have one freaking day without hating and killing everybody over what they are instead of getting to know who they are. Yes. Oh, God damn it. What the hell? There we go. Son of bitch. All right. So number 2, the top 10 worst times for penis flap incident. Penis flap incident while leading one of those giant product launch meetings for Apple. Can you imagine? Like Steve Jobs with his fancy little dirty, greasy t-shirt or turtleneck sweater. Or that other guy, Steve Cook, Van de Graaff Generator, whatever that guy's name is. Coming out like going, here we, this particular item we have manufactured entirely in a sweatshop where we only have 438 deaths per hour of people who died from starvation-related causes, chained to a desk. And people are like, oh yeah, where do I sign up? Where can I get one? I think that part of the carte blanche for Apple products is how many people that they enslave while trying to build them for a price that people feel like they can afford. Like, I can live with $1,700 million for a personal phone unit. I'm worth it. How many people, but more importantly, how many people died while making this particular unit? And you hear like 4 people died. But you're like, 4 people is a mite. It's a scotch low. Do you have anything in a 7 deaths per unit item price point? And Apple would be like, yeah, of course we do. Yeah, but you take all the way some of that evil is diminished, and you have that, wee Willy Winky dropping out for a cameo appearance while you're announcing the death products. But what are you going to do? Number 1 now. It's time for, this is exciting. Wow. The number 1 top worst times for a penis flap incident. Penis flap incident while you explain to the American public in a nationally televised address that you've secretly turned their country into a clandestine shadow-based Nazi Reich. Oh, yes. Wow, that took a lot of energy to get through that whole thing. That was a mouthful. And speaking of mouthfuls, what a pleasure, penis flap incident. This has been an exciting and challenging, and I think rewarding top 10 words. It's one of the best I think we've ever done. They've ever done. My team of clog dancing former dental hygienists who gathered together with me in the Okefenokee swamp and take copious doses of lemon drop moonshine mixed with laudanum to come up with these lists. But again, the pleasure. And now tune in again next time. Next week we've got an incredibly doohickey thing coming where it's going to be something special. Top 10 worst long form suppositories coming up next time. You're not going to want to miss a minute of that. This is going to be stellar. What a pleasure it's been. Thank you so much. Remember, all the things I've said here are opinions. Like, they're my opinions. If you don't dig my opinion, that's fine. I'm not saying that my opinions are any better than anybody else's opinions. God knows, look at me. Does it look like I would even trust my own opinions? Look at me. So anyway, like, do your own thing, man. You don't need to reach out with me and hate on me. My life is so miserable, horrible, and painful, and full of so many regrets and missteps that I've taken. My God, I don't even know how I make it through the day. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I cry. I'm like, oh my God, I'm alive. So anyway, piling on is more or less like, that's just sort of kind of ratty and evil. Here's a better idea. Come up with your own list. I'm just doing this on a freaking cell phone, goddammit. Post it and get some friends who feel like the same as you and talk with them about things that y'all have in common. What is this? This isn't rocket freaking science. But anyway, what a pleasure. What a pleasure it's been. Oh, a distinct honor to be able to lead you again. Now, next time, I really expect you to be able to come